Good morning and welcome to Herb Oracle Podcast, botanical divination with herbs, essences, flowers, and trees with your host, Herbal Marie. Let's start the day off pulling some oracle cards and getting a few messages. We can shoot the shiitake in a spiritual way-ish. And if you follow me on Instagram, I'll post a pic of the cards at Herb Oracle. Thanks so much for joining me. Here we go. Okay, here we go. We're doing it. Good morning. Good morning. Oh my gosh. Hey, so how about a morning show? So I am tickled that I'm still young enough that if I have an inspired idea come to me, like if just all of a sudden at the drop of the dime, or if you're sitting on the toilet like I was, just all of a sudden I was dropping something else. If you just have this idea come to you and you're just like, yes, this is an inspired idea. What is inspiration? Inspiration is being in spirit, right? Allowing these ideas and energies to come to us that are not maybe necessarily ours, probably from our higher self or whoever self, but they're good. The ideas are good. And the idea was to do a morning show. Now, it just didn't come out of the blue because I had sort of been, I guess, now looking back, asking in a way, because I felt like I needed to do something on a daily basis to get my creative juices flowing. So I was sort of asking that. I wanted to be excited about something. And I also had this other notice. I was noticing that I wasn't using my oracle cards like I used to. So I guess looking back, 1 + 1 + 1 equals a morning show. So good morning. I hope you're doing well. It is going to be super laid back. I have no plan for this show except that we're going to pull some cards, get a few messages, and just hang out. We're going to shoot the shiitake. I have a podcast, and I'm betting you know about it. That's how you heard about this one. It's called Herbal Marie. I love Herbal Marie. I'm so proud of that podcast, but it takes a lot of work. Everything takes research and planning and organization. Even my most simple to my audience, probably podcasts, like ones that seem to be real easy, still take some work. So in between my podcast this is going to be my podcast that we're just getting spiritual-ish. Yeah, because we are all spirit. I think we all know that at this point. So all right, so I have 2 drawers full of oracle decks. I mean, I have decks on decks on decks. But for this podcast, I am going to focus mainly on my botanical decks, like I do for my Instagram at Herb Oracle. And I'll post any card that I pull today. I'll probably have a little photo, show and tell, at Herb Oracle. Okay, so just plug that once, know that. But I focus on my botanical decks, the decks that have to do with herbs and plants and trees. Sometimes there's animals in them, but those are the ones that I'm going to mainly pull from here. Not that I might be called to dip into other decks, and so if that happens, great, I'm going to follow that. But I have a lot of plant decks. Yeah, I'm smiling big because they make me so happy. I know I'm not supposed to put too many idols in the world. Don't be worshiping the material. But if you are going to worship something in the physical realm, oracle decks are pretty cool, and tarot. So I'm enjoying the tarot podcast that we do at Herbal Marie. I have the Empress looking at me this week. She's on a little stand. That'll be the next one with Dong Quai. But yeah, so anyways, welcome. I've got my Divine Temple incense burning beside me. I've got a mug of dandelion root tea that's way too hot to drink, and a glass of water. Later on today, I'm going to be drinking some stinging nettle juice that I have made up. I made up last night. So stay hydrated. Okay. I love not having a plan. What's your intentions for the day? It is really good to start the day off with intentions. Before we even grab any cards, let me just focus in here and think about what my intentions are. To enjoy myself, to get messages, to have fun, to connect, to help uplift anyone who needs it. That's always my intention. And just to, of course, like I have said at least 52 times in Herbal Marie, to feel better and be well. We always want to keep our vibe up. Really, that's the place to be. You kind of like get yourself in this energetic, elevated state, and you're kind of untouchable there from all types of, disease and unwellness and even bad vibes. So keep your vibe up, and you'll be much happier. All right, so let's get a card. I always know it's time for me to pull a card when I start running out of my own words. I love oracle cards. I've been pulling them for other people for years. So this is really, really fun for me to do. So right away, I'm going to bring out a deck called Oracle of the Essences. And this is going to be an easy choice for me because this is my newest deck. I just got this for my birthday from my hubster. Thank you so much. It was actually a little late because it came the whole way from Australia. So even though he ordered it like 2 months, he says 2 months before my birthday, it was still late. So it's Oracle of the Essences. And it is from a really awesome lady called Monica the Enchantress. And she does have a website, theenchantress.com.au. So these are all about essences, essential oils. I love essential oils. I always have for, medicinal properties, but definitely emotional properties. So now at this point in my life, to bring in the essences in a spiritual type of way just makes sense. They've got messages just like all the herbs do, just like all the trees and all the other elementals. You can learn a lot from a rock. So anyways, let's get started. Open up this brand new deck. We'll get ourselves a message. And like I said, I'll take pictures of these. I'll put links in the descriptions if I talk about anything interesting. I do have some definitely interesting things to talk about in the way of books that I've been reading. I don't know if we can work that in, but the one that I'm reading now, a book that I'm reading now that I keep like reading in the corner, like so nobody can see the cover of it because I'm just not sure if I want people to know that I'm reading this book. It's called, let me grab it here. It's called Making Love to God. Yeah, like I swear to God, that's what it's called. So I'm reading a book, Making Love to God. It's some pretty weird shit, but not really. So it's Making Love to God, The Path to Divine Sex, and it's from Tina Louise Spalding. It's a channeled message from Ananda. So, how did I get started on this? Well, I'm using one of these cards as a bookmark for this book. But this book, I feel, has changed my life in 124 pages. That's what page I'm on, 124. It is very quite interesting. And I'll put a link to this book so you can see what I'm talking about. But I have come across this woman called Tina Louise Spalding. And every so often you just meet somebody. I'm going to shuffle these cards while I'm talking. Every once in a while you just meet somebody that helps you go up a notch, right? Okay, so let's get a first card here while I'm blabbing. Okay, there's our first card. I'm going to put it face down. Yeah, so this Tina Louise Spalding, Making Love to God, like that's not the kind of book that like you want to take to the cafe and be like, you know, holding it up in front of your face, like reading to your heart's content. But coincidentally, like it has captivated me and I am reading it, like I'm devouring it. It is so wise. It hasn't even really talked about like sex so much. It's talking about the things that are precursors that are so important within you. And this is like with or without a partner. So I highly recommend this book. I'll say more about it when I finish it. And then she's got 5 other books. Oh yeah, that's part of the story that I forgot to tell you. She has 5 other books, which I'm more drawn to than this book. But it was encouraged highly that I read them in order. And I was like, okay. And but then whenever I saw that that was the first one, I was like, ugh, really? Because that would have been the one that I would have probably skipped over. All right, here's our first card, you guys. So the back of these cards have this beautiful botanical illustration. It's so gorgeous. And the card, oh my God, this is hilarious. The card that I pulled is Manuka. I don't know if I'm going to say that right. I thought this was a type of honey, but we'll see. Manuka. And what's so funny about it is that it's a man and a woman embracing and giving each other a kiss. So as I'm reading a book and talking to you about a book called Making Love to God, getting, you know, yourself on the path to divine sex, we pull a card with lovers on it. So this is all about rescue and confrontation, though. These flowers are beautiful little 5-petaled white. They kind of remind me of an apple blossom. And these are like kind of almost look like tribal. It looks like a tribal couple. He has tribal paint on his face a little bit, and they both have long black hair and kind of have like a half ponytail bun. They're cute. And yeah, they're getting ready to, they got their lips puckered. So, but it's about rescue and confrontation. So I think we might be having a relationship message today, which would be great for me. How about you? Anyone else feeling like they need rescued or have a confrontation lately? It happens. It really, really does. So the wise words that we're going to start off from this card is be strong enough to stand alone, smart enough to know when you need help, and brave enough to ask for it. So that's an awesome quote by Ziad Abdelnour. So Manuka is a powerful antibacterial, antifungal, anti-inflammatory, and antiviral. Some people say that it might even be more powerful than tea tree. So dang. However, they both have their place in the emotional, physical, and mental states. Okay, so this is an awesome guidebook, you guys. So I'm just going to, since I don't know this oil very well, I want to learn about it. Still going to be a nerd on here a little bit. Just a touch of nerdiness. Disclaim out the wazoo. Do your own research. Okay, and it is through the Maori people in New Zealand. That's where it originates, and it has lots of medicinal properties. It's powerful, and yeah, it's definitely a resilient essence. Okay, so this card is all about, if it comes to us in a reading, which it has, it's time for you to allow another to carry you for a time. So this is a message about allowing yourself to give someone else the opportunity to support you. Allow yourself to fall into a dance of receiving while someone else takes charge. Okay, so this is a card that if you feel like you've been doing it on your own, because you have been, just know that you can't possibly do it all on your own. And at the end of the day, we were created equally to support and help each other. So allow that to happen. So I know personally, I have witnessed in my own relationship, sometimes one person feels like they do way more than the other one. And ironically enough, sometimes both people hold that opinion. And then you're like, well, who really does more then? Because you both think that you do. So this is a message, though, that if you have been just taking care of everybody else or feeling like you are on your own, well, why don't you allow someone else to help? Why don't you allow that in? Because to be quite honest, some people are shitty receivers, like on a lot of levels. They don't open up their intuition. They don't open up their hearts. They don't allow people to help them. They're like, I can do it myself, right? I can do it myself. Or they just don't even think to ask for help. Here's another case, because they just have done it. Like, they're just so used to doing everything that it doesn't even cross their mind to ask for help. But this is a great card to, an affirmation could be, I can be powerful and ask for help at the same time. It doesn't make you weaker to ask for help. Manuka will fight for you more than any other essence. So it says that the Manuka personality is in the positive state. When it's being positive, this will help you have peace of mind, right? And trust the process of life, right? But this oil also helps you cope with harsh environments. Whew. So, and it also says that it's an ideal nursery crop that provides shelter to more sensitive plants. That's really interesting too. It's just protective. And that was the whole message of this card: rescue and confrontation. It's a very nurturing essence and provides support and shelter to the weak. It's also related to the heart chakra. Okay, so we're starting off with a couple here. This is a relationship message. This doesn't have to be intimate. This can be friends, family. But there are just times in life that we do get run down, we do get tired, and we could use somebody to help, give us a hand, right? Somebody who actually wants to support with no strings attached, right? Like, don't just... Isn't it awful, like, when someone like your mom or whatever, like, you're like, dang it, they're just helping me because they think they have to, but I don't even know if they want to. Or if it's like a lover that you're like, yeah, I'd love for you to help me, but then, like, there's so many stinking strings attached, you're just like, no thanks. So this is our ally coming through to rescue us and, to help us. And I love that. I want to pull another card because I want to just see what else we can come through here. So let me shuffle these. So if you need help, ask for it. If you suck at receiving, do your best to allow it in. Can I get another card to just kind of, let's see where we're going with this. Okay. So we got Siberian fir, which this is a rising above challenges. Okay, so yeah, this is definitely a relationship that's having its challenges. You guys, this is my marriage. Siberian fir, we see like a nobleman, like kind of like looking like he's either in the Alps, but he's kind of British. And he's riding this quarter horse, I guess. And he's standing by two Siberian fir trees and looking out, probably early morning sunrise, because it's got these pastel colors over the mountains. So this is all about rising above challenges. This is how I felt this morning. Like, here I am, not a morning person, and I'm awake and I'm happy and I'm looking forward to talking with you and having our morning show. And that's how I felt, like we're rising above challenges. Now, on the bottom of the deck, I couldn't not see it. We have fennel. Fennel is all about intensity and overpowering. So I'm going to honor that card too, because this guy, he's sitting on his throne, and he's got his finger pointed up in the air. And even though it's very like authoritative and confident and sure, when it comes in this layout, as I'm looking at these cards, this is all about one person being more overpowering or dominant. And this really is not giving me a sense that this relationship has good balance or harmony or cooperation or respect. Like, yo, I hope our next card is a solution for sure. But let's just dive in. Right, like as you look at these cards, you're like, dang, like first we got the Lovers, but you know, it's coming in that rising above challenges. Why? Because there's just been some energy that's been overpowering. And yeah, it's just not balanced. It just doesn't feel very balanced to me. So the Siberian Fur card, and overcoming challenges is good. It's good. It's great to get into that place of harmony. It's great to better yourself, and it's even better to work together as a team and a couple with all the relationships in your life. So, okay, so Siberian Fir, it's super remarkable because it grows at extreme elevation. So he is in the mountains, and it can survive like negative 50 degrees Celsius. It can survive these extreme conditions. It's also really good for clearing the sinuses and, you know, helping clear stress. But when it comes to us in a reading, it means that we're faced with a transition to make. Okay, we got to knock off the procrastination. That has to come to an end. So this is all about finishing the task or just letting it go completely, right? So finish the task or let it go completely and go back to your old ways. But if, you know, you finish the task, it can open you up to new possibilities. So this kind of makes me think about us getting out of our own way, breaking old mindsets, right? These belief patterns that keep us kind of stagnant and frozen. Yeah. Because when we focus on the problems, it just freezes us up. We're not bringing in energy. We're not moving. We are just frozen when we're focused on the problems. Yeah. So this affirmation for the Siberian Fir, it says, challenges excite and motivate me. Like air, I rise above them. Woo, that is huge, because a lot of times in our relationships, okay, I'm just going to tell you guys can just only focus on problems, right? Me too. And what does that do? A lot of times that puts us in victim mode. Like, oh, they do this to me. He does that to me. She always does that. She don't listen, you know. And then bam, you're in victim mode. So Fir doesn't get stuck in a victim mindset, right? Because Fir takes charge of actions, right? This is a very strong and focused feeling card. So there is a decision to make. You need to line up with it, make it quickly, accept the challenge, rise above it, jump above it, just get above it any way you need to. And leave behind, get on your damn horse and leave behind all excuses. Whether that's just admitting to yourself that this relationship, that, you know, this confrontation is, you have played a part in it, and that part has simply been, you've been focusing on problems. You have been complaining instead of complimenting. You have been judging instead of appreciating. And that in itself will create a problem, right? That in itself creates strife and creates friction, and that creates an unbalance. And it's just like this energetic attraction that you're just going to pull in the negative aspects of the relationship. I mean, that's fine. That's how we learn. But we also aren't happy sometimes. So anyways, let's see what Fennel has to say, because I feel like that explains the problem more. Like, what has been the problem? Well, I mean, it's just this overpowering, thing going on. So, or maybe you've been overpowering. Okay, that makes actually more sense, because the Manuka card was all about like you trying to do everything yourself, right? And so you've been the overpowering one. So let's see here. Fennel. Okay, the wise words are from Dr. Seuss, who said, "You have to be odd to be number one." So funny. So Fennel is really eccentric, fun, and patient. It's very open-minded when it's in a good mood. When Fennel is on the positive aspect of the essence, the life dial will be turned to exciting mode, feeling that there's nothing that cannot be handled. So this is connected to the solar plexus chakra. Fennel is a really small seed, but has big flavor. And the Fennel personality will definitely not pass unnoticed. Isn't it so good in the Toms of Maine toothpaste? Like, Fennel is awesome. Okay, but there is a negative side to Fennel, and that is controlling and overpowering and expressing their self-esteem issues by degrading others. Oh, and that's like toxic in a relationship. If one person has a lower self-esteem, I don't even think they realize it, but they put the other person down. They certainly don't help lift the other person up. And, to be honest, if someone does not have self-esteem, they don't want you to be happy. They really don't. They may not admit to this consciously, but low self-esteem is so destructive, not just to the person who has it, but it's just kind of an icky feeling to be around. So Fennel can be so self-absorbed sometimes that it will become blocked and isolated. So this relationship definitely, the flow has stopped, right? Both people feel like they're doing it alone, and it really is a call to action that something needs to change, something needs to happen. Just to nerd out for a minute, Fennel is amazing for the stomach. And when you smell it or drink the tea, it can help with feelings of rejection. Or if you do have that low self-esteem and feel inferior, Fennel might be a really good energy for you to connect with. Fennel likes to be the one that advises, because this could be, you know how the game is played, the rules, and you like looking for solutions. So, okay, now we have lots of energy moving in this spread. Yeah, there was a little bit of a confrontation. This relationship needs rescued. We need to rise above the challenges, but that means we need to get moving. We don't want to freeze. We're not Siberian furs, okay? like relationships can't be left out in the cold. They're not a Siberian fur. We need to get some warmth in there. We need to get some focus, right? That solar plexus chakra. We need to use our will and make intentions and say what we want and be solution oriented, not problem oriented. So the divination meaning for this Fennel card is you can see Fennel like a person of authority, as though about to give someone a verdict. Yeah, like when I'm looking at this card, he's got his finger pointed in the air. And like, I don't know if he's like telling me to go straight up to my bedroom, like, you're grounded. Or what? Like, but it is super powerful. Like, you know, I can't wait for you to see the card. This card comes to you in a reading. If it does, you should assess the situations in your life in which you have been enforcing too much control. So this is a card that encourages you to let go of power and let the situation unfold normally. So that's kind of good too. You know, you have a little problem in your relationship. Sometimes if you would just let it, like, instead of trying to force it to be better, or force, like, we got to figure this out right now, right? How about just let it kind of unfold naturally? And this card asks, what have you been putting so much effort into that is still unproductive and frustrating? So is this a point in this relationship that it's like, wow, how much more energy can I put in this? And it's just not moving. It's just so rigid and just not helping. Well, Fennel has an affirmation for us. It says, I will trust my process and I will celebrate my progress. So I will trust my process and celebrate my progress. Yes. Trust the process, celebrate the progress, and enjoy flexibility in every aspect of my life. Okay, so we gotta loosen up. We gotta start. Makes me want to stretch. Yeah, let me take a quick break. I was gonna say eat some brekkie. I've been watching too many Australian van life videos. I should take a quick break and do some stretches, because if our relationships and our life needs more flexibility, a good place to start is in your body, because, you know, we're all connected, and you know, our mental is connected to our physical. So if we need more flexibility within our relationship, you know, make sure you're taking care of your body to support that. But what I feel like needs to come in next, I need a drink. I'm not going to eat brekkie. I feel like next we need to have our solution, like for real. So this might end up being a 5-card spread. We'll have the three problems. Not that they're problems, but this definitely has given us, like, I can relate. Well, this is my podcast, you guys. I guess these cards are just going to be all about me until you download the Anchor app and call in with a question. Will that ever happen? I don't know. But yeah, like, I can definitely relate. So now I'm going to just clear this deck, right? I'm going to clear it of the problems. We're super aware now of the problem. Like, got it, noted, check. Now let's get that solution focus. Let's get that done. So I'm going within and I'm connecting to that energy within me. That genuine place that's like, yes, I'm ready to receive. I'm ready to allow guidance to come in, to shine the light on the solution, and to really, like, okay, we're done bitching. We're done focusing on problems. We are done feeding the negativity. Like, we got the light wolf, we got the dark wolf. If we have been focusing on the problems, we are feeding the dark wolf, and we're feeding basically the destruction of our relationship. So you either grow up, grow together, or you grow apart. Right? So let's give this deck another shuffle, last shuffle. I don't want to keep you all day. It's a morning show. Solution, please. All right, so I'm going to go. I'm not even going to look. Putting the top one down and the bottom. And I'm going to put the deck away. like deck in box in drawer. We're going to stop here because I know our answer is waiting for us. I'm staring at the cards. I'm a little bit nervous. Let's drink our dandelion tea real quick and then we'll get our solution. Okay. Dandelion tea down. Check. Still have a little bit of the Divine Temple incense burning, so we're doing good here on time. I was shooting for a 7 a.m. Eastern time publish for this podcast, but I'm cool with 7:30. All right, so I did not peek at the cards, you guys. I would never do that. But hopefully I've pulled the solution to this relationship rescue. Oh my gosh, maybe that'll be the title of this podcast. I'm not titling these podcasts until after the podcast because I just don't know what I'm going to be talking about each day. I am going to leave it up to my cards and so until what we're asking for. Okay, here we go. The first card is Litzia, and I'm going to pull both of them up. And tea tree, Maleluca. Maleluca? I don't know if I'm saying that right. Okay, so I did put these down both upside down. Whether, I'm going to turn them right side up. Okay, for sure. Because that's our solution. But I did see them first upside down. So if you're listening, just know that I'll put them right side up in the picture. But to me, that says, okay, this may not be easy. Yikes. Yeah, that's what this says to me. Like, this may not be so easy. Okay, it's going to require a little bit of our work. Like, if we're going to turn this ship around, because we don't want the boat to sink, we are going to have to put in some effort. Okay, so Litzia is a card about expectations and empathy. And Maleluca, which I would just call that tea tree, is about protection and adversity. All right, so right away, before I even refer to this awesome guidebook, The Oracle of the Essences, I just want to say that, the tea tree card is all about, and it's Maleluca. Maleluca? Come on, Australian friends, I might need some coaching here with some of these names because I may have said 3 things wrong already. But this is about clearing our circle. Okay, so it is an Aboriginal man. He's standing in front of this really brightly colored Aboriginal backdrop. It's got oranges, reds, and yellows. Okay, so this is all about the first 3 chakras, absolutely. And this card has a snake in it and a spider, and it's about clearing out our circle. Like, if this is a negative relationship, I feel like Maleluca is coming in as part of the solution to say, like, yo, like, there is a time and place and point that, like, you need to get the hell out of there and you need to walk away, and you've tried so freaking much. So just know that you don't have to stay. If it's not working, you do not have to stay. You can go. But Litzia is coming in as like a complete opposite energy. She's a little fairy. She's holding coins. She's so abundant. She's might be beside like a wishing well, a brick wishing well. There's a lot of water in her card. So it's all about emotions. It's all about understanding, your partner's side as well as your own emotions. Like, understand how you're feeling and have empathy how they're feeling too. Because I don't know about you, but sometimes that's hard to do because we're just so self-centered, and we kind of are just, we know what we're thinking, but we don't even like pause to be like, okay, how would it be to be them, right? Like, let's switch shoes for a little bit. Like, if we're in a grand theatrical play, which we basically are, sometimes you need to know the other characters' scripts and perspective, right? In case we decide to switch. So understand and know how they're feeling. Before I look in the book, I also just want to say that seeing the word expectations, is that like a loaded word for you? Because like on the one hand, you want to have good expectations for the relationship, but then on the other hand, expectations can really be, dang, like a setup. Is that the word I'm looking for? Like, it can just set you up to have a rigid image in your mind that you become unflexible about. Okay, now all our cards are coming together now. So you kind of need to, one, be more empathetic, connected to your emotions and to your heart space, okay? Because, I mean, really, it's probably better at this point in our journeys if we leave our egos, our big fat egos, out of our relationships. Why? Because the ego, as I like to sometimes call mine, ego get 'em. Egos are like ready to fight all the time. Why? Because they want to protect you. Okay? They want to protect you from getting hurt, but egos are kind of twisted in the fact that like they kind of almost enjoy disconnection. And you know, they like being a victim, they like disconnection, and like they want you to be happy but not too happy. So I think this card for me is reminding me to get into my heart space, and to stay there where we are much nicer human beings. Maleluka also has a message about protection too. So it's not that we want to get ourselves in situations that are, you know, emotionally, physically, spiritually depressing or abusive. You know, like we do need to make sure we're taking care of ourselves. But Maleluko is also saying like you can get through this hardship. Like, yeah, but you might need to clear your circle. And you may definitely need to clean your aura and your energy field. Because you are attracting your relationships to you, whether they're any type of relationships, friendships, your lover, your family, like business. You and your energy are attracting and influencing everything. So it's time to quit pointing the finger, quit blaming, and take responsibility to clean up your own energetic act. And then, you know, it's like, and then the solution will come to us. All right, so let me look in the book. That's pretty good insight on my part. Clearly, I've gotten the Maleluka card before. Yeah, it is really time. You know, like hashtag no more fake friends, you know, no more fake lovers. Like that's, I think, why this book attracted me so much. Like, aren't you just so done with ego sex? Really? Okay, so the wise words from Litzia is, it's an unknown quote, but it was inspired by William Shakespeare. It says, expectation is the root of all heartache. Yeah, that was the vibe I got too. Like, you know, think about even like as a kid, you had like expectations for like the ultimate birthday party. And then it just wasn't. And then you're like so bummed. And so we do that as adults too. We get it in our mind that like it should go a certain way, this or that. And then we just set ourselves up for disappointment. So Litzia is also known as Mei Chang. It's a native to China or Indonesia, Taiwan, that kind of Southeast Asia. It has a lemon scent. So, you know, mosquitoes don't like it. which is pretty cool that it came in with Maleluca. Like as we're trying to like get rid of the snakes and the spiders in our life, let's get rid of the blood-sucking mosquitoes too. And I'm saying that like referring to people. Like there are just some people that take and take and take, right? Like you just do it all. Like no, it's time to receive. Like who was that said that? Manuka. It's time to allow and get some help. You don't have to do it all. So anyways, Litzia is very calming, and she's a sweet little fairy, little goddess, little deva. So this is what she wants us to know. Here's our solution. Loud and clear. Litzia encourages letting go of resentment. Yeah, let go of the resentment. It's like poison in your mind. Yeah, because sometimes we do just expect way too much. And that, like I said, could lead to disappointment or even worse, heartache. You know, like relationships end, but the ones that that haunt you forever is like the ones that were so disappointing. You're like, but I thought it could be so good, right? And then it just like kills you forever. So it says when one expects nothing, it can be easier to cope and flow, you know, just flow with life. You don't have any expectations. So there's just a lot less stress. You don't have to feel like you need to manipulate everything to go a certain way. It says sometimes we even get stuck into thinking persistence is needed, that the person one day will realize their feelings and reward us. However, this can create not only a long-lasting broken heart, but also an inability to forgive and let go. So, yep, that's the most popular F word I'm hearing every time I turn around is forgiveness. Yeah, that is the name of the game. Because when we let go, when we forgive, when we put down our resentments, we allow space for things to come by effortlessly. We allow good things to flow into our life. So Litzia is definitely saying, remember, do not put yourself last, okay? Because you need to meet your own needs before you can satisfy anyone else's desires. And that's the book that I'm reading, you guys, Making Love to God, the one that I didn't want to take to the playground. But I might. After I finish it, this book might wow me so much, I may read it publicly. Like, yeah, I love this book. But that's what it's saying. Like, you have to be a whole person. You have to get your energy into alignment. You have to connect within. You have to connect to Source and God if you're going to feel like a whole person on this earth. So Litzia is very soothing, okay? If you do have you're expecting too much, it's going to help soothe you. It wants you to trust in the universal laws, okay? What we put out, we get back. So let's trust in this. If things are not going right in your relationship, trust that if you start bettering yourself, improving yourself, loving yourself, healing yourself, uplifting yourself, raising your vibration, being positive, forgiving, letting go of judgment, releasing resentments, focusing on beautiful things, you will help this relationship. And not only that, but every aspect of your life, because you're going to be a vibrational match to better things. So Litzia teaches us that good will come in many ways. And but she's also saying that help will not always come from the hand that you've helped. So when we give, let's give without expectation. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Give without expectation. So here's the divination meaning. She is a beautiful little fairy. Kind of reminds you of like lemon balm, Melissa, like maybe the fairy that you'd find there. She's got these big gold coins, right, symbolizing abundance. Abundance when? When we are in the right frame of mind. So if we're having any type of shortage in our life, love, affection, money, fun, that is a flag, red flag, that says you're not in the right state of mind to receive it. So you got some work to do. So there is that waterfall behind her, cascade. That's going to symbolize movement, which we've been talking about all along, just like the Siberian fur. Get up on that damn horse. It's time to move. But this is more of an emotional, energetic movement. Okay? And she's sitting by that wishing well. And so it's like, make a wish. What do you want? What do you want to make happen in your life with your energy? Not that you're going to force it or be controlling or overpowering like fennel. You're going to allow it to unfold naturally. So yeah, get in the state of receiving, allow it to flow, and tell yourself, I am capable and deserving. I am capable and deserving. I can let go of any expectation as infinite abundance flows through me. So that is just such a beautiful message. I wish that would have been like our final card, but it's not. It's Maleluka, right? So it's like, yes, get into that receiving mode, clean up your energy. And that's what Maleluka is saying too, like clean up your aura. You need to think good thoughts and also remove some of the negative influences. If this is a negative relationship, walk away, right? You don't need to allow toxic people in your life anymore, okay? If it just don't feel good, you just need to walk. It really does. Because Maleluka says, if this card came into your reading, it is because you have been too nice and too naive with people who don't deserve your beautiful vibes. It's time to clear your circle of friends, respect yourself, and create a new environment that is going to resonate more with who you truly are. So yeah, he is definitely saying cleanse your aura, okay? Smell some tea tree, smell some Maleluka, and yeah, give yourself a good shower and allow all your bad vibes to go down the drain, right? Like either visualize it or do it with the intention that I am showering off all my bad vibes, and say, I release things that no longer serve me. I release them easily and effortlessly. So, dang, that's all I need to read from that card. That is like good enough. Yeah, the message is clear today. You guys, do what you need to do to get your energy clear, get your vibe up, admit to yourself that you have played a part in creating this problem. But hello, that's great news. Like, if you helped create the problem, then you can solve the problem. Like, that's the power in it, knowing and understanding that you create your reality. Like, you look at everything and you say, I created this. And sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's just embarrassing shit that you created. But when you know that you did it, then you're like, okay, I create my life, I create my reality, and I can create better. I'm gonna manifest better now. Yeah. So we clear out our energy, we let go of the snakes and spiders and mosquitoes and toxic people with love. We don't have to be drama. Because when you raise your vibration, those people are just going to drop out of your circle anyways. It's just going to like all of a sudden everyone's going to ghost you, but it wasn't for any reason other than you raised your vibration and they just couldn't hang with you. So I hope you loved these cards. Yeah, definitely swing on over to Herb Oracle. I'll have the pictures up. This was a great message. This is definitely a message about relationship rescue. And rescue yourself first. Okay, so that wraps up our morning hangout. Thank you so much. It's such a good reminder to go with the flow. Hey, it's a nice heads up that changes are coming. I love it when the changes in life are positive and for the better. Go with the flow. And speaking of flow, give yourself permission to allow the creative energy of the universe to flow through your body because it feels so good. It feels so good. So the only downfall about having a morning show is that is in the morning, and my throat sounds like I just woke up. But a little trick that I like to do to get my voice warmed up is to say positive affirmations. So anyways, just wanted to mention that. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you again tomorrow morning. I'm gonna shoot for every morning. We'll see. If not, So if you enjoyed this podcast, be sure to come on over to Herb Oracle, check out the pics, tell me you loved it. And if you just happen to stumble across this one and you didn't know that I had Herbal Marie, be sure to connect with me there as well. So much love to you, and here's to relationship rescue.